As federal public servants continue returning to the office with increasing regularity, questions are being raised about their condition and the availability of office space. Darren Fleming is a commercial real estate expert and joins us this morning. Good morning to you.
Morning.
When you saw the rollout so far with the return to work mandate going 4 days a week starting in July, what are your thoughts on what you've seen overall so far?
Look, when you order 100% of any group of humans to do anything, it doesn't serve any of them well. The message that the federal government has put out is that we don't trust public servants. Just because they're in the dust, does that mean that they're doing their job well? Does that mean they can be held accountable? Is that really the best thing to do? Office space is important. I think human connections happen best in person, but there's no way that having everybody in without communicating why is the best strategy to go forward.
Yeah, and I think it's agreed. Like having those one-on-one conversations can be good, but you need to have the situation ready for something like that. When you look at the spaces, because that's a primary focus right now, is there's not enough space to have all these people back in with the amount of people that have been hired. What is your thoughts? Is there enough space in these federal sectors to have people come back into the office?
Well, through the pandemic, the public service just accelerated this move to hybrid. So what that means is they actually took out a whole bunch of furniture. They started changing office space around. A lot of their buildings are under construction, and they keep changing the expectation. So this knee-jerk approach to getting people back in the office means the public service isn't ready. So you can put a line in the sand that they're all going to be back by a certain time, but this has not been the best way to do it.
Yeah, well, the president of the Public Service Alliance of Canada definitely had some thoughts about this. Let's play that clip.
Currently, the conditions within the offices are horrendous. There's still issues with the buildings. There's bed bugs, pests. We're talking about mice, bats. There's just issues with the actual setup, and there's not enough space.
All right, and since that time, CTV has received a statement that reads in part, I'm going to read it here. The presence of pets in federal buildings are very common in commercial real estate. What has your experience showed you? So when you take a look at the return to office in a few months, do you think it's going to be ready by then?
No. And I think in truth, when we peel back the layers, if we have great people who are doing great things in their jobs, accommodations have to be made. Otherwise, you're going to lose them, and we can't afford to do that. They're doing really important work, and we want to make sure that their needs are met. Not just the needs of the employee, but the needs of the employer too. It's got to work together. Yes, there can be pests in commercial buildings, and yes, you can have plans to go. But the reason they left a lot of those buildings is because they're old and at end of life. And shoving people back into them just doesn't make sense.
So you're forecasting potentially a chaotic few months ahead once that return actually comes into effect.
Just telling people is not a change management plan. You got to actually have purpose, you got to have intention, and you got to demonstrate it with actions.
Well, Darren, really appreciate your time this morning. Obviously top of mind for so many federal public servants that are expected to go back in the summer and July. Appreciate your time this morning.
My pleasure.